cute. Yeah, they were. Men were nameless princesses, and they were dragon slayers, literal gods on horsebacks. The message to the girls was, be sweet and lovely. The highest value man will move heaven and earth for you. It's almost similar to FLDS. Keep sweet, pray, and obey. And those of you that know and have seen the content, I will be putting it. It'll be up here somewhere that you can watch it for those of you catching this on a replay. The message to the boys was, become exceptional or die trying. One heroic act wins the ultimate prize. The first wave aftermath was the 50s, okay? Cinderella and Aurora doubled down. Passive damsels and post-war domesticity. Men remained untouchable kings and warriors, and the effect on men was sky-high expectations. Real men provide castles and slay dragons. Nothing less is acceptable. Now we get to the Renaissance, second and third wave, 1989 to 1998. Women were feisty, rebellious, but still sacrificing, healing and reforming, high-value bad boys. Think Beast, Aladdin, Shang, Naveen, and Flint. Now, men, their messaging was dark triad adjacent rogues with status, looks, or power who could civilized by female love. The effect on men was, you can be dangerous, a broken mess, as long as you're hot and have high potential. A good woman will fix you. The revival wave or fourth wave era of feminism was 2009 to 2016. Women, independent heroines, Meridia to Moana, who need no romance, no rescue, in fact, no man at all. Men were demoted to comic relief, like Kristoff, humble demigods like Maui, evil liars like Hans, or simply erased. What effect did this have on men? From 1937's Dragon Slayer to 2016's optional sidekick, the cultural message flipped from be exceptional to you're barely relevant. For women, the feminist reading is well-known, gradual dismantling of patriarchal lies, from dependency to empowerment, incomplete but trending upward. For men, the unspoken parallel is devastating. 1937 to 1955, you must be a king or you're nothing. From 1989 to 2010, you can be a hot mess as long as you have status and looks. From 2012 to 2016, actually, just stay out of our way. The story doesn't even need you anymore. The Disney princess evolution didn't just liberate women from toxic subservience, it simultaneously stripped boys of aspirational masculine archetypes and replaced them with humiliation, obsolescence, or outright deletion. Both genders got sold new stories. One was marketed as empowerment, the other was quietly erased as toxic. This series exposes what both sides actually lost, and why the happiest outcomes for men and women still look suspiciously like dynamics from the oldest films Disney now calls problematic. But enjoy this intro and we will dig right in.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the world that you know.
I'll be happy to do all the domestic labor and trust a high-value man will come save me.
Dippy boppity, give me that top 1% prince.
Kiss me while I'm unconscious, king.
Traded my voice and fins for one mediocre white boy, no regrets.
Yeah, I can fix him. The origin story. I'm not a prize to be won, unless you're street smart and hot. Save the colonizer because his jawline said human rights. Worked 3 jobs until I realized froggy style hits different.
My hair literally heals men. Your move. I'd rather turn my mom into a bear than get married.
Men are trash. My sister is my soulmate.
Save the world. Still no man. Still single. Still empowered.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
Okay, guys, so let's dig right on in. Welcome to everybody that is joining the show. Please be sure to like the video, share it out, subscribe if you want to, and also hype it up if you can. Now, what we're going to, hey, Lorna, hey, Trick, let me say hi to everybody in the show before we begin. Oh, there's so many of y'all here. Hello to everybody. I don't want to get distracted. Y'all just rock with me. Now, Snow White, in fact, is the blueprint. Snow White is the predecessor to all Disney princesses. She's the predecessor to feminism, and she is the mother of red pill ideology. Now, why it's important to discuss these princesses and their effects on red pill is because these are the talking points that people have literally every day, right? They have these talking points, but they have no idea why they have them. They don't really understand the origin of the talking points that they're speaking, what it really relates to, what it correlates to, what is the effects that brainwashing in media production has had on the male psyche and the female psyche. And then women and men are just at odds, and they've been displaced. They've been manipulated, if you will, over almost a century, because it's almost 2037. I want you guys to really ingest that. It is 2025. Snow White first came out in 2037. Okay? All right. So now when we talk about these movies, we are going to be talking about The Princess and the film, why the original story actually works, how feminism misleads women about the story. We're going to be talking about women that are single when they follow the feminist critique. We're going to be talking about why the version doesn't work, counterintuitive to female psychology, the female archetype, the male counterpart for the same film, what Disney told boys, what Disney told girls, and the red pill translation. So let's begin. For the movie Snow White was, like I said, it was first animated in 1937. Why the original story actually works? Because pure nurturing and domestic bliss and trusting a high-value prince who will save you is the original female fantasy. Women score highest on agreeableness and caretaking. Married homemakers historically report top-tier happiness. Now, how feminism misleads women about this story. This story calls Snow White a doormat, right? It mocks her cooking and cleaning for the dwarves, okay? It says waiting in a coma for a man is peak oppression. But why women remain unhappy being single when they follow this feminist critique? Women who reject all traditional feminine roles often hit 35 to 40, craving exactly the provider-protector dynamic they were taught to hate. Okay? This doesn't work with female psychology because feminine traits are nurturing, softness, trust, and male competence. And these are hardwired rewards, not learned slavery. Shaming them creates identity level depression. So these women that are like, oh my God, I can't do this or man because what did he do to me? They're miserable because feminism is psychologically ruining them against their own nature. So when we talk about Snow White, right? Her female archetype is trad wife, nurturer. She waits in a coma. She's doing anything for her man. She's doing it for the gram. Now, the male counterpart in the same film, the prince, is nameless. He's literally just Prince. He's rich. He's decisive. He rides in for one kiss. And what Disney told the boys with this movie was, be rich, own a castle. You only have to do one big thing. You only have to show one big outpouring of love, and that's enough. What Disney told the girls with this movie was, be pure, be kind, be domestic, and the prince will magically appear. Now, how does this fit into the red pill psychology? Okay. What this equates to in modern day conversations and talking points is female hypergamy and male competence. Waiting for these things to come together in perfect unison is a fairy tale. So when you have these red pill content creators that are telling you all the time, well, females are hypergamy. Well, low-key, they're supposed to. And male competence, and in order for a man to have and do everything and provide and protect, that a female has to be this, and that's a fairy tale. It's never going to happen. They're building off of the Disney princess archetype. And the reality is, it's not a fairy tale. Your dreams can come true. They can. But, you know, we sit here and these conversations are had all the time, but...
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
You can't handle the truth. And always remember...
I'll be happy to do all the domestic labor and trust a high-value man will come save me.
That is the narrative that you were taught. Now, let's move on over to Cinderella.
Bibbidi boppity, give me that top 1% prince.
As feminism evolved, so did Disney. Now, Disney, right? Someday my prince will come. Disney got a little firmer. And the Disney Corporation was working hand in hand with feminism. Now, Cinderella was first animated in 1950. Women evolved to seek high-status protective providers, hypergamy. They put it all up in your face, okay? From Cinderella's stepmother to Cinderella herself. Cinderella's rescue fantasy aligns perfectly. Married women report higher happiness and lower cortisol. Ladies, you got a couple of extra pounds on your body? Go get a husband. Being happy will, in fact, make you lose weight. Now, Lord, how feminism misled women about this movie. It frames waiting for a prince as weakness and says never need male provision. Which is why a lot of you are baby mamas. A lot of you are brokenhearted. A lot of you have had an overabundance of sexual partners because you're not waiting on anybody and it's weak. It's taking away from the chasteness that you should employ, not because it's like a religious archetype, but simply because you should have value on your body. You should have value on yourself. You should have value on who you entangle yourself with. Now, why are women upset and single and mad about it? Is because prolonged singlehood leaves security instincts unmet. we're always talking about Maslow's, but the longer you are single and unattached, those needs for security are never met. So that equals to financial stress, loneliness, and regret in your 30s and your 40s. Now, what does feminine psychology say about this? Rejecting the desire to be chosen by a capable man fights 500,000 years of adaptive mate preferences. Now, what female archetype is Cinderella? Well, she's the abused girl dreaming of one big night. Y'all remember this from Dreamgirls, right? With Effie? One night only, one night only. Come on, big baby, come on. That is an extension of the Cinderella story. Now, the male counterpart in this movie is Prince Charming. Again, that was his literal name. Rich, bored, throws a giant party to wife shop, like the men do in Dubai. What did Disney teach boys with this movie? Host the party, let the women compete for you. Does that not sound like the high value man rhetoric that you hear every day? And what this movie taught women was clean, stay sweet, one glow up, and the top guy is going to pick you. How does that correlate to today in modernity? Shout out to Cooley. Now I'm just playing. Modern times, though, for real. Women are told to clean up the house, cook some food, go get you a BBL, go get you some breast implants. You understand what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, you are now worthy for a high value man. Put injections in your body. Do all type of stuff just so that you could be worthy for someone that doesn't really value you, but wants to see how hard you're willing to compete to get him. The red pill archetype, selection power is male and competition is female. So when we're sitting here and we're listening to the high value conversation and the hypergamy conversation, newsflash, guys, it's rooted in psychological sublimation that started in the 1950s, the same 1950s that everybody wants to go back to. We can do it, we can do it, we can help our Cinderella hide the dishes, do the mopping. They always keep her hopping. She goes around in circles till she's very, very dizzy. Still they holler, keep her busy, Cinderella. But everybody just wants to talk nowadays, and nobody wants to actually sit back and have the intellectual conversation or the deep dive. So now let's move right on over to Aurora.
Kiss me while I'm unconscious, King.
Now, Aurora, better known as Sleeping Beauty, was crafted in 1955. Okay? Now, what are we, excuse me, why the original story actually works? It works because women are wired for competence, bravery, physical protection, the hero archetype. And then a hero comes along. Philip slaying a dragon triggers deep ancestral reward circuits. What does feminism say, though? Feminism calls the kiss non-consensual and heroic rescue toxic masculinity. Do you see how we start to nitpick at what men are supposed to do, at who men are supposed to be, devaluing their psychological needs, as well as misaligning a female psychology to what it is supposed to be? Why are so many women upset? Because many single women later fantasize about the exact masculine competence they were taught to scorn. When they're out there on the side of the road and the tires popped and they have nobody to fix it, all of a sudden they want a hero. When they're stuck in the house, they can't zip that dress up and that nail that they have on the wall is not working anymore. They need a hero. I need a hero. What's the psychology? Female sexuality responds to dominance and protection. If your toto is dry, honey, it's because your man is not dominant and he ain't protecting you. Shaming that response creates internal conflict and dry spells. Your love life's a little boring. It's because you're acting like you don't want or need a hero. Now, the female archetype of Sleeping Beauty is passive beauty, asleep. It's also it's also like the silent girl, right? Cute, but don't say anything. Now, the male counterpart, Prince Philip, he fights dragons, cuts through hell thorns, okay? He is just that guy. This is that one heroic act that's going to save you. Now, what it teaches the boys is be violent when required. Slay actual dragons for her. Do everything you need to. It tells women to go to sleep. Stay beautiful. He'll come. Don't put any work in. Don't put any effort. I want you to really understand this is the first wave of feminism. You don't have to do any work. You literally just have to be a pretty face. Be pretty, be silent, keep sweet, pray, and obey. And what does the red pill rhetoric of today give you? Male disposability and female reproductive value. And again, as we start to break this down, a lot of men need to understand that they're low-key feminists. You're a feminist when you're saying that all a woman can do and all a woman should do and her best value is her reproduction. When you say that she's hit the wall at 25, you're not valuing her as a person. Now, as we get into the Renaissance, let's talk about Miss Ariel.
Traded my voice and fins for one mediocre white boy, no regrets.
She gave up her talent. She gave up everything that made her unique. For what? Ariel was animated in 1989. Why the story works. Women invest more in relationships and make big sacrifices for high-value mates. Parental investment theory. Look it up. Ariel's trade-off is biologically normal. What did feminism teach women with this movie? Labels, changing herself for a man, self-erasure, and pick-me behavior. Why are women miserable following behind this ideology? Refusing to adapt for love leads to short flings or chronic singlehood. See, this sexual revolution has kind of deluded women to believe that as many horses as you can ride, that's going to be equitable to pure happiness. And it's not. Because while it systematically tells you to use and abuse men and treat them like they're disposable, it also fosters sisterhood, which goes against core beliefs, core psychological desires and needs. But we'll get there. So how does this go against the psychology of a woman? Higher female relationship investments is evolved strategy, not oppression. So suppressing it feels unnatural. This is why you have a lot of women that are super duper angry, right? So what female archetype would we consider Ariel? She's the rebellious teen who changes her body for Chad. And again, this also ties into our previous story, right? BBL Drizzy. These women some of them are trying to be a Ariel type. So let's talk about the male counterpart for this movie. Prince Eric was rich, handsome, had zero personality. And he almost marries another girl because he actually didn't know who the hell she was. So he wasn't invested at all. She literally gave up her whole kingdom under the sea, and he was ready to marry Ursula, who did a shape-shifting move just to keep Ariel's voice. Ursula didn't even want Eric. She didn't care nothing about Eric. She wanted the power of Ariel's voice. Y'all be careful of women that try to take other women's voice, honey. Them poor unfortunate souls. It's sad, but true. Now, what did this teach the boys? Be tall, dark, handsome, and own a castle. That's literally it. In movies about true love and true love's kiss, and these are the things that women have built their whole entire romantic notions off of. There was no lesson for the men outside of just be there, be handsome, and be tall, have some money, and that's it. So when these high value men are talking about, oh, well, women only want your money, is it necessarily their fault? Or is it the sublimation that they've been fed? Now, what did this movie teach women? Change everything about yourself to win them. Anything. And then, are you noticing the trend? Clean and stay sweet. Go to sleep. Stay beautiful. Change everything about yourself to win them. Are we starting to see how we have these imbalanced, upside down, rocky, turbulent relationships? Nobody's being true to themselves. What's the red pill ideology? Pre-selections and looks equals everything for men. These red pill talking points are essentially saying that men have no worth and no value outside of whatever money they can get and whatever looks they can get, even though looks and money are not guaranteed to anyone. Y'all are speaking feminist narratives over yourselves, and y'all are packaging it to men as if it's patriarchy. But what you're really doing is selling a feminist agenda. Oh, let me be quiet. But then, we get to super save me, bitch. Oh, super save me, Belle. Let's continue.
Yeah, I can fix him. The origin story.
Now, Belle is the original Pit Me. This is the original Super Save a Hoe comic, okay? Beauty and the Beast was animated in 1991. Why the story works. Women score far higher on empathy and nurturing. Reforming a broken high potential man activates intense bonding. Feminism calls Beauty and the Beast a picture perfect bit of evidence for Stockholm syndrome and says never fix a man. Why women are not happy when they're following this critique. Walking away from every flawed but redeemable man leads to involuntary singlehood. Why does it bother you psychologically, ladies? Because empathy and emotional labor are core female strengths. Denying them removes a major source of meaning. And when we think back to Maslow's, what is at the top of the tiers? Self-actualization and transcendence. It's very difficult to become self-actualized when you're not having a sense of purpose. Now, female archetype for Belle was the smart girl who reforms a dangerous high-value man. Why do good girls like bad guys? Because of Belle. Now, the male counterpart is the Beast. Formerly hot prince, literally rich, tall, dominant, violent. He transforms because he's rude, right? And this is the part that a lot of people miss about Beauty and the Beast. The Beast lost all of his money, all of his looks, all of his popularity because he was rude to a witch that was passing through in disguise. The witch was actually quite stunning, but she disguised herself as a miserable old woman. And because he couldn't see any good in her and he couldn't treat her with any value, she cursed him. What it taught the men? Be high potential. Project richness, dominance, and be broken so that women can feel like they need to fix you. And this is where you get a lot of content creators from the manosphere and the red pill space. They are the bees. A high potential project, rich, dominant, and broken. They are all waiting for a bell. What did it teach women? Your love can fix even the most dangerous man. The red pill ideology is dark triad and resources equal reformability. But you can't really reform anyone. People are going to be who they're going to be. And again, this is that second wave where they're actively telling women to go for the bad guy. So when I hear content creators like, well, why do women always pick the bad guy? They always pick the bad guy because a lot of women believe in the Disney hype. And then we get to,
I'm not a prize to be won unless you're street smart and hot.
Jasmine. Animated in 1992 in Why the Movie Works. Rebellion and eventual pair bonding with a capable partner is the best of both worlds women actually prefer. Feminism says it celebrates rebellion, but ignores she still chooses partnership. Single women that follow behind that ideology are miserable because pure rebellion without bonding leads to being admired, but being alone. Why it doesn't work in psychology? Because women want autonomy within a secure relationship, not instead of one. And men need to really understand that when it comes to relationships. Women want to be able to fly free because it's a privilege, but they also want to have that hedge of protection all around them. Now, Jasmine's archetype is a spoiled princess who wants excitement. I'm just bored. I just need to do something because I'm bored. Oh my God, I'm bored. Her male counterpart was Aladdin, a street rat that turned into a prince via lies and magic. His personality is a risk taker. He's cunning, and he becomes high status. You know, like the YNs of today. What did it teach the boys? It taught the boys to fake it till they make it. Or use a genie. Or use some powder. Or use some crypto. Or become a scammer. What did it tell the women? She says no to betas, but yes to disguised alphas. What's the red pill ideology? Hypergamy don't care about your origin story, only your peak value. Let me say that again. Aladdin has taught the red pillars that hypergamy don't care where you started from the bottom, now it. As long as you actually get there and you make it. And this is problematic in relationships because your origin story matters. It matters the path that you went to in order to, be somebody and to actually make it. But child, people do not be ready. They don't be ready because everybody thinks that like they just supposed to be out here crying and acting a fool. And doing team entirely too much.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in baseball, honey. But then we get to the Miss Pocahontas child.
Save the colonizer because his jawline said human rights.
Now, why does Pocahontas work? Pocahontas works because cross-cultural attraction and bridging worlds for loves mirrors real female long-term mating flexibility. Feminism says it focuses on colonial critique, misses legacy, and family drive. Women that follow this critique are single and miserable because childless high achievers past 40 show the sharpest happiness drops. I actually know quite a few women that are over 40 that don't have any children and that are miserable and that look to really get in the midst of something messy every day because what they're looking for is legacy. They want to be counted, they want to be important, and they want to matter. Right? So what it says about female psychology and what you guys should know about the way your evolutionary psychology works in the female mind is strongest evolved drive is reproduction and legacy. Stories without family feel biologically incomplete. This also stops women from feeling actualized when we talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, the female archetype that Pocahontas is the exotic free spirit. The male counterpart is John Smith, a blonde conqueror with the gun and the jawline. What it taught the boys was be a colonizer with good hair. And a lot of men do everything to make it appear as if they have good hair. They put an S curl in their hair. They go get haircuts every other week, every other day, just to make sure it's good. They get weaves just like women do, doing too much. And it teaches women to risk your entire tribe for one hot invader. So what's the red pill ideology? Vibes are more important than survival. And shout out to Aaron O. Because Aaron O used to always have me cracking up talking about these damn vibes. Girl, you got that vibe. But as we end up the Renaissance, we are going to talk about Miss Mulan. Okay, now Mulan was animated in 1998. The story works because proving competence in male domains, then being desired as a woman, is peak dual validation. Okay, it's peak dual mating validation all day long. Like, yes, I run stuff here. I'm still hot and you still want me. So, you know, what feminism says is it cheers gender blurring, but it ignores ultimate reward. It ignores the fact that the ultimate reward is romantic acceptance as a woman. See, feminism doesn't want women to feel desired or wanted. Feminism been playing in y'all face for real. It literally only wants equality. It wants attractiveness to be a non sequitur. Why women that follow this critique are single and upset? Denying sex-specific desires delays family formation. You're denying a huge part of who you naturally are. Because the psychology is women wants to be exceptional and still chosen for femininity. Erasing the second half leaves the victory feeling very hollow. Now, the female archetype that Mulan is a girl disguised as a man to prove her competence. You know, all the tomboys in the world. And the tomboys, they need love too, honey. Tomboys need love too. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, now the male archetype for Mulan was Ling Shan. Now, Ling Shan was buff. He was a military commander who falls for her after she reveals her femininity because Ling Shan was annoyed, honey. Ling Shan was not feeling Mulan when Mulan was acting like a man. Okay, Mulan had to go through it. Y'all see when she took that coin on that little, piece of fabric, okay, to climb up that pipe. Okay, when she was out there, she didn't want to take no baths with the dude. She wasn't really being a guy's guy because she was a woman. What this taught the boys from Disney's perspective was be high status and a leader of men. What it taught the girls was excel in a male world, and then reveal you're still feminine to win the top guy. So yes, this is a win for the manosphere in the red pill space. Mulan taught the girls to be masculine. It did. The red pill ideology is the dual mating strategy is confirmed. This movie proved for red pillars that women have to be able to compete in male spaces and still be seen as soft and sexy in order to win. But then they also have issues with competition. Now we're about to get into the fourth wave. You got to watch it. It's pretty good. The fourth wave of feminism really is when men as a whole in today's society started to be disrespected. Okay? And of course, this is when they decided they wanted to bring in a Black Disney princess. Now, let's hear from Miss Tiana, Princess Tiana.
Worked 3 jobs until I realized Froggy style hits different.
Okay. Now, Tiana was animated in 2009, paying homage to New Orleans, the fourth quarter. Okay, cooking and working hard because they couldn't give Tiana, the easy life that everybody else except for Mulan had. No. Tiana had to get it out the mud, quite literally. Why the Princess and the Frog works is ambition and integrating love and family is what most high achieving women say they actually want. What feminists said is it praises the career grind, but why does she compromise? Why does she romantically compromise? She sold out. She sold out the sisterhood of the traveling coochie. Women that follow this critique put their career first, and then it leads to the fertility window closing, which leads to widespread regret. Psychologically, this movie is problematic because the biological clock is real and non-negotiable. Finding it hurts worse than any glass ceiling. You have a lot of women that once they reach the point of no return, they're kind of sad that they haven't put anybody in the world that looks like them, that they don't have anybody in the world that they can love and they can mold to be a viable member in society. And then they start to be like predatory towards other women, especially women that have children, and they spend their lives attacking women that have reached a level of completion and the female narrative that they never will. Now, Tiana, stop trying to distract me. Tiana's female archetype is the hardworking girl boss. Her male counterpart was Prince Naveen. He was lazy. He was broke. He was a hot playboy who reforms. What it taught boys was start as a hot mess, and then you can be tamed by a hardworking woman. I want to say that again for those that missed it. Disney taught men and boys to start as a hot mess and be tamed and get tamed by a hardworking woman. And it taught women work 24/7, but still reform and marry the hot broke guy. So do you see how Disney created this cycle of resentment that seemingly cannot be broken. Women need providers and protectors, and it's all based on feminism. Remember, the executives in Disney and the feminists are hand in hand. We're not going to create a world where men can be providers. We're going to strip them of their ability to provide. We're going to make women be the providers. And then once the women control the men, then we'll give them an opportunity to make some money. The red pill ideology behind this is beta bugs and alpha hybrid. Let's put it like that. Okay. So I also found it quite interesting that being tamed by a woman is also laced into a story about people of color. Y'all don't hear me? That is the Disney princess story for little black girls and little black boys. It makes you really look at how we, the people, are interacting with one another, or it should. Now, let's talk about Miss Rapunzel.
My hair literally heals men. Your move.
Rapunzel, animated as Tangled in 2010, is an interesting piece of movie. Now, Rapunzel kind of took us through there because her mama was abusing her. Her mama made her stay in a tower, growing her hair because her hair was magic, and her hair really wasn't for healing men. It was for her mother to siphon off of so her mother could maintain her youth. Now I got a whole bunch of rabbit holes to go down to with the characters, the side characters, and they plots, and where they reappear and disappear within these Disney movies, but we'll get back to it. Now, this movie works because Rapunzel is escaping her abuser with a strong male partner who supports her dreams. It's a healthy attachment theory in action. It's great. It's great. It's great. What did the feminists say about it? Feminist perspective is it downplays the male partner. And it frames the journey as solo empowerment. Women that follow this critique have a lot of solo adventure fun at 22, and by 32, most crave the co-pilot they were told they didn't need. Evolutionary psychology says women are wired for healthy codependence. Pure independence feels exhilarating short term and very, very, very lonely long term. Now, Rapunzel's archetype was locked up healing girl. Okay. She locked up, but she runs the world. She can heal everybody except for her own broken heart. Now, her male counterpart was Flynn Rider. He was an orphan thief with a heart of gold. Okay. Now, what Disney taught the boys with this was be a charming rogue with trauma. What this taught the girls was heal all his wounds, literally. And he becomes your loyal king. So this is why you have a lot of women out here trying to fix dudes. Oh, I'm going to fix him. Oh, I'm going to love on him. I'm going to make him whole, and then he going to be loyal. And that's not how any of that works, Jake. What's the red pill ideology? Wounded high-value male and female healing magic. Because y'all know, shout out to Jay Prince for president, women's vaginas, women heal men with their vaginas. Hello? Is this thing on? Is anybody listening? Women need to heal high-value men with their vaginas. See, when I tell you I've been thinking on this, I've been ruminating on this for a minute. Like, where is this coming from? What is the etymology? Where is the origin stories? And it's Rapunzel. Rapunzel got y'all out here thinking that somebody finna heal you. Somebody finna heal you. Hell no. Now let's go on to hell, honey. Let's go on ahead and talk about this crazy one right here. This little blue pill baby.
I'd rather turn my mom into a bear than get married.
Damn. Damn. Marita. Okay. That's y'all need a healing. I can't. You know what? Let me stay out this chat. Y'all enjoy yourself in the chat. Now, this week was really, really, really crazy. It really was, because the brothers done turned into bears, the mamas done turned into bears. Everybody had to die, honey, because she wasn't going. We wasn't getting married. We wasn't getting married. Okay, it's brave. You know what I'm saying? Like, they done told you from the door, you're so brave, stone cold crazy for loving me. Y'all know nothing about that. Anyway, so why this works? Brave works because rejecting bad suitors is smart. Let me say that again. Rejecting bad suitors is smart. Rejecting marriage itself, though, contradicts the number one predictor of female life satisfaction globally. So, feminist critiques say that this hailed as the ultimate feminist win. I don't need, I can't stand no man. I don't want no man. And the women that are listening to this rhetoric, now remind you, Brave was animated in 2012. So this is after, can you pay my bills? Can you pay my automobile bills? This is after all of that, okay? This is after the good old R&B movement. That's a whole nother, we're going to get into it. We're going to really start looking at how psychology and how society has framed these talking points and these conversations that people be having nowadays, honey, while they act like they don't understand the correlation. Marriage remains the strongest correlate with female happiness. Anti-marriage messaging leaves women statistically worse off. And from an EP perspective, pair bonding and oxytocin from commitment are hardwired female needs. You need that, like your brain, the way your brain is set up, it needs the oxytocin from pair bonding. It's not a patriarchal invention, contrary to popular belief. Now, her archetype is rebellion only. No male lead worth mentioning. And all of her suitors were losers intentionally. Because what was Disney teaching the boys? That men nowadays are weak, they small, and they comical. And what did it tell the girls? You don't need them at all. For the red pill, this is the beginning of the men are optional era. You know, I don't need no man because men are horrible. I don't need them. I don't want them. I don't need them. I don't want them. They suck. They're stressful. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And the crazy bullshit. Now, not there were a bunch of Lord. I said I'm getting out the couch, out the chat. Now we got Frozen.
Men are trash. My sister is my soulmate.
Frozen. Originally animated in 2013. It works because sisterhood is vital. But for heterosexual women, it doesn't replace romantic pair bonding. It's a different neurochemistry, right? The way, I'm trying not to get too sciencey here. But if we took a picture of your brain when you were spending time with your friends, female friends, versus when you were spending time with your lover or your spouse, the neurological mapping is way different. And the chemical receptors that are produced and are ingested also completely different. Completely different. Okay. Now, feminism says true love is sisterly. And it completely denotes romantic love. This doesn't work. And it doesn't work. And women are single and miserable because friendships do reduce depression, but they don't satisfy mating drive. So it often leads to something's missing. And that's what a lot of women are feeling nowadays, that something's missing. Because from an EP standpoint, romantic love activates unique reward systems no amount of power can replace. And I'll see you right there. The girls cannot do what your man can do. All the things your man will do. Your best friend cannot do that for you. Okay? Now, the female archetype of Anna and Elsa, Frozen, is sisterhood and beta orbiter. I said it. Now, the male counterpart was Kristoff, a beta provider. He literally delivered only ice. Come on, man. And Hans, the evil fake prince. What it taught the boys is that good men are now sidekicks or villains. That's it. You're either the comic relief or you're a whole damn villain. Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and pray. And what it taught the women was true love equals your sister or your safe beta at best. They are trying to erase. It's erasure. It's erasure. They don't even want women to desire masculine men. They want women to have no need for protection. They want men to not want to protect. They want men to do the least. Women to do too much. And then that's how we arrive at equality. The red pill rhetoric is romantic love is demoted and masculine value crashed. And it's true. To a degree, not too much. But who was our last Disney princess? Do y'all even hear that? Oh no, my bad. Hold on.
Save the world, still no man, still single, still empowered.
Moana. Make ways, the spirit of Matanu. They got y'all all singing the song. They got y'all all amped up, honey. Y'all out here looking for Maui dolls, Moana dolls, the heart of Fertility, okay? Who was the same beast that was in the middle of the ocean on fire, trying to tear the whole world down until somebody replaced her little stony heart. Moana works because of leadership and the return to the community. And the implied future family completes the female hero's journey. Okay? Now, feminists celebrated this movie as a pure solo empowerment movie with zero romance. Women that follow this critique, pure solo empowerment, no romance. Quest without legacy, i.e. children, family, feel meaningless by the time you hit 40 and 50. The way the female mind is set up, the female psyche is set up, female fulfillment is tied to generativity. Nurturing the next generation, pure individualism clashes with that programming. So if you're not raising a family, your mind is not ever going to stop racing. You're never going to be fulfilled because biologically you cannot. Now, her female archetype was pure solo quest. Her male counterpart was Maui, a demigod sidekick who gets humbled and helps her. And y'all didn't even think that was weird to no capacity. How a little girl was able to humble a whole demigod. What it taught the boys. Even if you're a whole demigod, you just a helper. What it taught the girls, and it's still teaching the girls to this day, is men are accessories at best. The red pill logic, it's the final stage. Male obsolescence. They're not needed. They're not worthy. They're not worth it. If it's worth it, can you work it? I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. Silliness. Really. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button and sharing it out. Okay? Thank you. Chat.
Of vicious practical jokes.
Bunch of vicious practical jokes. So let's recap the 90-year path. From 1937 to 1959, the male Disney archetype was God tier, prince, and dragon-slaying hero. The Disney female archetype was pure, kind, and waiting beauty. And the core message to the audience was men compete and women are selected. From 1889 to 2010, the Renaissance and Revival. The male Disney archetype was high-value rogue, beast, the thief, a playboy who gets reformed. The Disney female archetype was rebellious girl who tames and heals men. The core message was men have potential and women civilize. And from 2012 to present day, it's the woke era. We woke. The male Disney archetype is sidekick, villain, or completely absent. And the female Disney archetype is an independent queen who doesn't need any men. And the message is that men are irrelevant or toxic. Disney didn't just change the princesses. They systematically nerfed the men from literal gods and dragon slayers to ice deliverers and demigod assistants. The red pill was never just about the princesses. It was about watching the male archetype get castrated in real time while being told that this is progress. Final takeaways that you should have tonight are: from Snow White happily scrubbing floors for dwarves to Moana sailing solo, Disney accidentally mapped the entire 90-year shift from unapologetic female nature to you should be happy alone. The early stories were flawed, but they spoke to real biological desires. The new ones fix coercion, yet often erase the very things: protection, provision, pair bonding, legacy that makes most women light up inside. The reality is, ladies and gentlemen, the middle path: strength without shame, independence without isolation, ambition with attachment is what actually works best for female psychology and happiness, and actually what works best for men. And in this series that I am doing, we're going to be doing more deep dives like this. And this will be broken up into pieces so it's easily digestible and put in my courses playlist so that, you know, we can start having real conversations. I think it's imperative and it's necessary. We are wasting too much time as a people. We have these spaces on social media, and when we're having one-sided, lopsided conversations that don't ever look at the origin or the root of what a problem is, and we keep passing blame back and forth to one another, what we're actually doing is sitting there and perpetuating narratives that are set by people that are not us. Okay, we're doing what the masses want us to do. You're living in a dream world, and it's a gas because y'all are using terminology like red pill and blue pill not even realizing that the Matrix wasn't about making a decision. The Matrix was letting you know you've already made these decisions and you're being used as a consumer. You're being used as the fuel for society to keep the machine going. So I felt it was very necessary to let you know one cog in the machine and how they've been playing in your face this whole entire time. This has been a raw conversation. Thank you all for joining. Again, like the video, subscribe, share it out, and hype the video if you can. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Real Content. Take care.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the world that you know.
I'll be happy to do all the domestic labor and trust a high-value man will come save me.
Yippee boppity, give me that top 1% prince.
Kiss me while I'm unconscious, King.
Traded my voice and fins for one mediocre white boy, no regrets.
Yeah, I can fix him. The origin story.
I'm not a prize to be won, unless you're street smart and hot. Save the colonizer because his jawline said human rights.
Worked 3 jobs until I realized Froggy style hits different.
My hair literally heals men, your move. I'd rather turn my mom into a bear than get married.
Men are trash. My sister is my soulmate.
Save the world, still no man, still single, still empowered.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.